Hello, 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 hello. We are here. Happy Tuesday to all my peoples, to all the players, to all the baddies. Welcome to the Player Circle. It is your boy, your friend, Ceddy P. Glad for another day to do it again with y'all. Hope y'all had a blessed week. We're gonna have another great show. We're gonna tap in. We're gonna do it big. Y'all know that, but just getting myself together. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta gather yourself. Y'all let me know what y'all was into this week, man. Second week of January, man. That time goes fast, don't it? Don't it move quickly? You gotta seize every day, man. You gotta make the most of it, cause it'll go by. We'll be at December 2026. Talking about God, the year went by crazy. You know what I mean? Nah, not this year. This year I had a good meeting today with one of our fellow content managers. He's helping us with some stuff for my artist quest, and we were just talking about, 2026 is gonna be a special year. And when I say that, I want to speak with respect, because I know just in this short time, we've already had people taken from us. So we want to be respectful to everybody, but I do feel like even in the midst of loss, there's birth, there's growth. So I'm just praying for everybody to make moves this year, man, and take the most of it. Let me put some balm on it. They want to have ashy lips. Know what I mean? Welcome to everybody that's just joining the chat. Welcome to the Player Circle. If you're new here, drop the sunglasses emoji. If you're new here, drop the sunglasses emoji so we can go crazy. You know what I mean? But I am Ceddy P, artist manager, label owner, playlist curator. Shout out to my boy Austin Carpenter. He said, I'm first. Get dibs. Guilty of being right at LL Cool J. You know what I mean? They call me Big LA. Oh, of course. Isaiah, what's good? Shout out the young player Isaiah. Tonight's episode is called New Year, New Me. Well, mostly new, because I was fine last year too. Don't let nobody disrespect you. Don't let nobody take away if you was out here being fly last year. You know what I mean? But everything else gonna be new. I'm excited. I was watching the playoffs this weekend. I went to go visit my dad. So my dad, the original Bald brother, Bald King, the former president of Bald Brothers United before I took over, My dad liked me, but he got all this gray. All this gray. He look like Black Santa. He look like Black Moses. Was watching the game with him. My dad think he's slick. He is like, oh yeah, y'all come down and visit. We gonna watch football, relax. As soon as we got there, hey, I want y'all to help me build something. What the? Rover Noah? Is that how you say it? Rover Noah. How you feeling? Yeah, my dad think he's slick though. That's how I'm gonna be when I get older. I'm gonna be like, hey man, come visit me, man. We gonna have a good time. As soon as y'all get here, hey man, I need y'all to help me cook. They gonna be like, what the? That's how you gotta do it. That's the blessing. Some other things was going on though this weekend. So like I said, I was watching football. Unfortunately, both the Pennsylvania teams got up out of here. Steelers gone. And the Eagles gone. Now, I live in Jersey. I live close to Philly, so I could feel their pain a little bit. But me, I'm a Washington Commanders fan, so I don't give a damn. My day is going good so far. I'm glad to be here with y'all. I'm glad to be tapping in. If you're new here, do me a favor. I want y'all to like the live and subscribe so y'all can be tapped in for further episodes. Go check out all the clips. What we basically do here is do a lot of shit talking. Excuse my language. Don't tell my mama. Listen to some new music. And I talk about basically what's been going on social media and in the culture. You know what I mean? So, as I was saying, I was watching some football. Lost in my parlays. I'm mad about that. I'm really, really, really getting close, y'all, to just retiring out the game. I can't give away money like that. That's not what successful people do. I'm making money. They taking money. Now, I love to win a parlay. For those that are fans of Keepin It Playa, y'all know I done been to the mountaintop. I done been to the top. Hit them that crazy money one time. But they keep getting it back from me. And that's the part I don't like. What else happened? Oh, well, we'll talk about him later on. But my boy Fetty Wap. But so a couple wins. You know, Teyana Taylor happened to have a big win. She won the Golden Globe for her recent performance. And I have to say, there's been a lot of discussion about it, but I saw the movie. I made it through the popcorn. I thought it was very good. One battle after another. Couple of things, you know what I mean? One thing that there's been a discussion is just the issue about her winning an award for such a role where she's not painted in the best light. And, you know, as a person of color, as you can see, as a black man, a black woman, it's always tough for us to try to get, you know, the best roles or look favorable in society. So it's like, okay, now y'all want to celebrate us when we out here looking crazy, but it's acting. So I keep that in mind. I'm not tripping. I hear the issues, but I would implore anybody to check the movie out, get an opinion of your own. It's always good to form your own opinion about stuff. You know what I mean? We be on social media, be like, yeah, what they said. You don't even know. All right. Now, what else happened this week? So, we at my record label, Renaissance Music Records, I'll play y'all something in a second. But, you know, we really revving up for the new year. So we back in the studio. In addition to that, we're doing a lot of marketing and filming content. But we also doing planning And some of that planning included a vision board. So I, yes, your bald-headed scallywag friend, made a vision board, which I'm proud of. My vision board got several things on. Let me pull up my vision board. And I think going forward, I'm still learning the streaming game. I ain't Duke Dennis, I ain't Kai Snot yet. But, and shout out to them, but my streaming is growing, and soon I'll be able to hit y'all up, get y'all all the, get you see the screen, all that, all that high technology. But that being said, my vision board, I like it. You know what I mean? I got a couple things on there. I got the guitar on there. I want to learn how to play the guitar. And I actually have one now, acoustic guitar. So I'm going to be getting my... I'm going to be getting crazy with that. I have my style board on there, so I can start dressing even flyer. My label, I got my artist on there. I want to get one of my artists to perform on the radar. I got a story for y'all on that. That was crazy too. But I want to get some endorsements, because bald-headed brothers deserve endorsements too. But I also am working on outsourcing some of my work, man. I work hard, and I'll do a lot of the stuff on my own. And for any great business to be successful, it needs to be able to run without the owner being necessarily there. If your business can run without you being there, you're doing big things, my boy. So in addition to that, though, I want to have some time with my friends and family, make that money, right? Go to the beach. So I put that on there so I can do like this on the beach. I'm gonna get cured. Get my meditation on the beach. I'm gonna release a couple of my some merchandise for myself and my artists. My artist first. But yeah, I got a shirt for y'all too, for all the fans of the Player Circle, for all the fans that come to watch Keepin It Playa. We got the shirt for y'all. But y'all gotta make sure, one, y'all tapped in. Two, y'all gotta learn the Player Circle lingo. Okay? To be a fan of the show, you need to know the Player Circle lingo. So, it's a couple sayings that we have and we say all the time. First is YGB, which stands for you gotta believe. All right? You gotta believe. Whether it's getting money, believing in God, your parlays, getting the draws, whatever it is, you gotta believe. All that negativity, miss me. All right? So YGB, we say that a lot. All right? So if you part of the team, you part of YGB. Second thing is another phrase that we say here a lot: turn your freaky down. Turn it down. Because some of the people on the Twitter and IG, you know what I mean? I see it even on TikTok. Y'all too freaky. All right? That's how you end up with them Diddy charges. Turn your freaky down. All right? But those are two to start. That'll help you get acclimated to being down with the team. And then also, obviously, we say players, the guys, the players, the ladies are the baddies, and we are one under the Player Circle. So welcome. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. This is the first time I did a vision board since I was probably a kid. Back in the day, you used to have to cut it out the magazine, paste that thing, you know what I mean? Hit your little glue stick, splat cacao. Now you don't gotta do that. Now you can make that thing on Canva. But yeah, I'm really, really happy that it, I think I'm gonna post it on my IG. I might post it. I might post it on YouTube. Y'all my family. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it on there. That's a great idea. Now, the one other thing that I got into this week that I realized, and I can tell y'all because y'all my peoples, is that your boy is motivated. Your boy is trying to convert his motivation to discipline, but I'm trying to get right. You know what I mean? Now, y'all see old head Perry. Y'all see, they call him the YU. I'm a young unk, right? About to transition into full unk status. Being an unk is scary because your mind thinks you still young. Your body says otherwise. You be trying to hit that crossover. You be trying to hit that tween. And when you go for the second tween, it's like tween spleen. Now you done hurt something. You know what I mean? You got to ice your knees. You be wearing knee pads like Dwayne Wade. It's challenging. However, I want to age gracefully. Be a resource for the kids, for the children, for the youngins. I still want to be fine enough for your mama to like me. Probably your sister. You know what I mean? Depending on if she is of appropriate age. But you still want to be fly. So I am motivated. And I'm going on, some of y'all may have heard this before, may have seen it online, but it's this thing called the 75 Hard Challenge. So 75 Hard Challenge is basically when you do, I think it's 6 things, and you got to do them every day. If you don't do them, you got to start over. Excuse me. I feel you, but the focus for me was interesting because when I was researching this, I found out it was 75 days before my birthday. Exactly. All right. So I'm like, yo, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lock in for 75 days. If I don't hit something for a day, we not going to start all over again. We just going to go all out, give it our best. So we calling this the 75 All I Got Challenge. All right. And it's not to escape the challenge of being best, but your mama. That's funny. So when boy said take off those glasses inside, let me explain something to you. You don't come to my house and talk crazy. Go to your house and talk crazy. But additionally, let me give you some insight about the glasses. People say that, oh, why you wearing glasses inside? That's because my future bright, baby. It's bright. So if you can't get with it, get out of it. But thank you anyway for your goofy insight. That being said, we giving it all we got. All right. We doing all we can. So we going to put in the work. We're going to, we just going to go to work. You know what I mean? Got it. Now, 75 Hard Challenge requires you to do a couple of things. 75 Hard Challenge requires you to have a structured diet. You got to read every day. You got to, I respect it. Like my boy Simba say, we can agree to disagree. But I respect the hustle and respect the support. So I support you as well, my brother. But I'm reading the comments, y'all. I don't want y'all to be like, what is he talking about? But anywho, as I was saying, in the 75 Hard Challenge, you're supposed to have a structured diet, read every day, work out twice a day. One of them supposed to be outside. And you're supposed to take a photo, what is that called? A progress photo. So it's not crazy when you really think about it. You just got to be disciplined and dedicated. Thankfully, even though I live on the East Coast and it's normally cold, it's it's been it's been decent weather. So I'm rocking with it, and we putting in the work. So y'all support me on the journey. Y'all, if y'all need support on your journey, let your boy know. You know what I mean? And we gonna do this thing together. We gonna get to where we need to be. All right. So keep rocking, keep rocking, keep rocking. So listen, we're gonna get into the bald-headed logic. All right. For those that are new, the bald-headed logic is when we discuss, some insight, some retrospect, and I want to share that with y'all so that y'all can have that to take on y'all walk of life and be successful. All right. Now, today's bald-headed logic is simple. Save your trifling for the people that deserve it. Save your trifling for the people that deserve it. I was observing the other day, seeing some people going crazy in the comments, and I was like, yo, people get really nasty. They get nasty both online and in real life. They just taking out their frustration. You be like, dang, yo, you mad. Why are you so mad? And more importantly, why are you taking all this madness out on me? On moi? It's unnecessary. And normally what you find out is when people is mad or upset, frustrated, somebody else did that to them, and they're projecting. They're projecting and putting that on somebody else that didn't even deserve it or ask for it. And we got to learn out here. Save your trifling. Save your reserve of nasty for those who warrant it. Because where's that energy for the person that brought that to you? Where's the person for you where's that energy for the person that been doing you wrong? Where's that energy for the person that owe you money? Where's the energy for the person that was trying to slide in your lady's DMs? If you got all the stress, direct the stress where it's supposed to go. Okay? We got to learn this. Because you talking nasty to somebody that don't deserve it don't solve a thing. Might get you punched in your face, low key. You might get you one of these, Bob. And I don't want that for you. I don't want to have you having a busted lip, especially if it's from the person that ain't had nothing to do with your original problems. So save your trifling for the people that deserve it. It's nothing burns my soul anymore than somebody coming to me with all that negativity and it ain't have nothing to do with me. Cause I'ma try, cause I know the Lord. I'ma try to be like, hey man, what's up with you? Relax. What's going on? Can I help? I'ma try the first time. The first time brought me back. The second time will get you tossed up out of here, as Martin would say. Take your ass like this. Get your ass up out of here. And you don't need that. You don't need that at all. So I implore you, if you don't know what implore means, go check it out. To save the trifling for the people that deserve it. All right. But let's continue on, man. Let's continue on having a great show. Now, we have a segment where I highlight new records and I highlight what I've been listening to called New Waves. Last week we was talking about Jill Scott and the release of the new project. And there are more projects on the way that I'm really, really excited for that will play, some which will play when they drop. They'll drop next week or follow week. Excuse me, your boy tired, boss. But another thing is, right? I want to play a new record that from my Aries baddie, Lennox. And Lennox is preparing for the release of her new project. I believe that comes out next week. And the new album Vacancy. But she just dropped a new record, which is going to be on there, which is Twin Flame, and I'm feeling it. Now, the thing that'll be interesting is people been giving Lennox a lot of flack. I think being an artist, I love the music space, obviously, as a manager, but being an artist is very difficult because it's like you're continually trying to grow, trying to evolve, and you have to deal with a lot of criticism and negativity in the midst of your rise. An example, if you're a young artist, when you play your music, everybody that you play your music for wants to be a music executive. Oh, the levels are low. The levels are low. Your subject matter is very bland. All this bullshit that when they're listening to insert name here, they don't have none of that energy for. They out here turned up, turn. But everybody wants to everybody wants to be an executive when you're a young artist. Then let's say that you break. Then they want to start critiquing that you're not evolving and that you need new material and that you need to show growth. Then when you show growth, everybody's like, oh, this sounds so pretentious and manufactured. Go back to the old style. You can't win. What Michael Jackson say? You can't win. Y'all like my vocals? But that's always the issue as an artist. You always got somebody trying to press or hate. So you have to stay aligned with your fans. You have to stay aligned with the people that like your music. Because if you don't, what's going to happen? You're going to get no freaky, swallowed up. You know what I mean? Turn your freaky down. Turn it down. So this has been a lot of the conversation around some of the recent releases from Lennox as she's been paired with Jermaine Dupri. Y'all know what this is? And Brian Michael Cox for some of the new songs. And the songs have a more of a commercial feel. But the songs, I like them. I ain't gonna hold you. I loved Vacancy, the single. You know what I mean? I don't know if pressure is going to be on this project. It may be. So, and she's already released Soft Girl Era. So, Soft Girl Era, same thing. You know what I mean? People just kind of just being being critical. But let me be the first to say, one, you're fine. Two, the songs sound lovely. So keep doing what you're doing, and I'm excited to hear what's next from you. You know what I mean? I'm excited to hear the project for sure. I hit the pre-save. All right. Now let's play Twin Flame in the background, and let's keep vibing. Let y'all listen to that for a little bit. But I want to also take a moment to speak my truth. All right. So speak my truth. Y'all are similar to segments like this. This is kind of like what grinds my gears, or where you just get to speak your mind. You know what I mean? Whatever's on your heart. And if you got something that's on your heart and you want to put in the comments, feel free. All right. By all means. But for me, I need to say what's on my mind. I gotta speak my truth. And let me say this. I am announcing that a peace treaty I'm announcing a peace treaty with sparkling water. Sparkling water, me and you, we all right now. Okay? We real. Me and you is all right. Because sparkling water, that shit is delicious. Especially the flavor. Now, for a long time, I stayed in my lane. I stayed in my lane. I was a big soda guy, but you gotta put the sodas down. Too much sugar. That's how you get the beaties. That's how you get the diabetes. Man, I don't want that. Because then they're going to be trying to give your boy that Ozempic. I don't want it. Now, the other thing is, I'm like, okay, let me get a substitute. I do drink water, but sometimes you want a little taste. You know what I mean? It hit you right here. So, I'm like, let me try the sparkling water. I was put on game. I was put on game. I'm never a hater. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. All right, but I stayed in my lane at first. I'm like, yo, let me just try this ginger sparkling water. Tastes like ginger ale. All right, it's in the ballpark. Tasted it. I'm like, okay. I see what's going on here. There is a lot of similarities. I'm not gonna be the person. I refuse to be the person. We all know they have alternative diet, healthy diet. They be like, oh, this tastes just like such and such. No, it doesn't. All right. Now, one thing I will say about healthy living, a lot of now that I'm older and more mature, say it with me, y'all. Mature. Now that I'm more mature, I can say a lot of things with healthy eating or healthier eating is the seasonings and the sauces. You can get close. You can get close. But I ain't gonna never lie to you and act like, oh, chicken, yeah, chicken and chick apostrophe N or jackfruit is the same. No, 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 my brother. Ain't nothing like that. That good old chicken wang. But you gotta make adjustments in your life. You know what I mean? You can't be eating them wings every night. That's how you I don't want y'all like that. All right? Now, so after trying and drinking that ginger sparkling water, I'm like, all right, let me expand my horizons. What other options do I have? So I tried the white peach. Now y'all know me. I'm usually into the, you know what I mean? But I'm like, hey, let's try it. And that white peach was hitting. I said, I am no longer parched. I can feel the flavor. I'm like, this is okay. This is okay. So then I decided to get real spicy. I'm like, let me try the Concord Grape. See if this thing hitting like Crush. Because the real G's know about Crush soda. Preferably orange, but I will mess with the grape. And it's right there. For a person trying to live their life healthy, but still, you know what I mean? Still have balance. Highly recommended. All right. So that's me speaking my truth. Sparkling water. I waved the white flag. We cool now. So let's keep it moving. If y'all got flavors that I should try, you know what I mean? Let me know. If they got an orange, if they got an orange that's gonna hit like Sunkissed, because first of all, let me real quick. I know I said I ain't messing with sodas, but let me quickly. We gotta, you know, we gotta clear up the air. There's a hierarchy of orange sodas or any fruit sodas. Now, you had your preference with Coca-Cola, Pepsi, that's on you, Coca-Cola. But we talking about orange sodas, there's a hierarchy. All right? And what's the hierarchy? Crush. Crush is the premier You gotta go. You gotta go special places to get it. You know, I love a little rarity in my life. Crush soda. Then you got sun kissed, which you can say one A. Then after that, it get a little weird. You got your Fanta. You know what I mean? And then anything after that is just downright uncivilized. Don't come up to me with no BS. Now I know some of y'all might drink that what's the Spanish joint? The Geratos? The Jarritos? But that ain't for me. Don't hand me that. You say if somebody come, they say you want something to drink, yeah, what you got? Oh, I got orange soda. Oh, all right, let me get one. If you fix your body to go to the refrigerator and bring me a Fanta, I'm gonna go like this. But don't give me no Fanta. That ain't cool. So now we on the same page. Don't play with me. Crush, Sunkiss. That's pretty much it. Leave me alone after that. I might if we out in the DR or something, I might try the Jarritos. But that first option is Crush, then Sunkiss. And then if y'all want to get bougie, y'all can hit me with a San Pellegrino. But I'm trying to find the equivalent of Sunkist seltzer water. But that's enough for seltzer water for right now. We'll move forward. Let me put on some of that Renaissance music, man, so we can have us a nice little vibe. No disrespect. I've been loving my boo. All right, Lennox, but let's keep that thing going. You know what I mean? Now, getting back to business. Let's get into the "What Are You Talking About" segment. Okay? Now, the "What Are You Talking About" segment is where we highlight some things that we've seen on social media. You know what I mean? Some recent either clips, podcast segments, whatever. If you ever want to recommend something, feel free to message me, check, hit me up on IG, share what you've been seeing. All right. Or tag me in something. Tag your boy, it's Ceddy P. Now, the first clip that I wanted to talk about was this recent clip from y'all favorite Instagram or internet comedian Druski, where he's talking about the mega churches. If you have not seen this clip, go see it. It is Druski imitating a mega church pastor, and it's hilarious. Now, couple things that I gotta highlight. My favorite part was when he was in the air flying. I'm like, yo, what's going on with your boy? And then he started catching the Holy Ghost, asking for $1 million, and said the people couldn't leave until the $1 million was secured. So that was a whole mess in itself. But another thing that was interesting is that, of course, these conversations spark comparison and conversation. And people was like, yeah, Druski ain't as funny as the other one, and they just said left the other one blank. So through reading, I was able to figure out who the other one was. They talking about Trey Rags. Now, I have seen his content. He definitely does have some funny skits. I think that respectfully, you're talking about financially two different types of production, right? And Druski's rolling at this point. You know what I mean? He's probably the Kevin Hart of the the social media comedians. You know what I mean? Or internet comedians. Um, but your boy Trey Rags is funny. He's definitely had a couple of them. I was seeing some interesting commentary. They was like, he's for his comedy's for incels. I'm like, all right, well, let me step back. But Druski done had a couple heavy hitters, some Super Bowl performances, and this mega church one is definitely a hilarious one as well. And other people were getting upset. They was, kind of anytime you're gonna always have some criticism or trolling or what have you, but people was like, oh, why he making fun of the churches? Why people, disrespect the church? I, I think first of all, you got to look at it like he got the material from somewhere. That's not just made up. There are mega church pastors that act like that. In addition to that, it's all in humor. And thirdly, anyone who has a relationship with God is not going to be swayed to not go because Druski was imitating a mega church pastor. It's like, let's be real. All right, let's not do this today. But check the clip out. It was funny. I thought it was funny. Now, in other news, I saw a clip on the relationship tip, and I wanted to run it your way. So, the clip was a woman basically posting where it says him, referring to the date in question, him posting on his social media, oh, this date went well. I can't wait for the second date. And then it flashes to her, and she's got an entire list of critiques that pretty much signify that might not be no round two like my boy think it is. And so I wanted to ask y'all, do y'all ever think that have you ever been in that situation where it's like you and the person you went out with are on two totally different wavelengths, whether it's the date in question or whether it's just the relationship in question? And I think that's an interesting, subject or topic. It's nothing worse than to be feeling some way, either good or bad, about somebody that you've been talking to or communicating with, dating even, and that person is on the all the way opposite, total opposite end as far as how they're viewing it and perceiving it. And you'd be surprised. It's like, how are we so far off? Why are we at the opposite ends of the spectrum in regards to how we're both viewing this circumstance? And I think a lot of that arises from just lack of communication or lack of the right communication, whereas like this intentions aren't being stated and the right questions aren't being asked. Because you can find out how people are really feeling about you and or the situation. The other thing that's important to realize is that, and I can say this as a young unk, people's mouthpiece be crazy. Again, turn your freaky down. I'm talking about their actual words, not they freak level. People know how to say and even do the right things to keep you attached, to keep you close until the right circumstance for them arises. And one of the worst things to see when that happens is the switch up. The switch up be crazy. The person be super nice to you, and like they'll go from being super nice to like almost like, I don't want to say cussing you out, but like looking at you like, yeah, you a lame, and or getting just disrespectful with you, getting real cocky because now they in a place they up. So it's like, yo, you gotta really, really be careful and communicate both via asking questions. Sometimes you gotta ask questions, and sometimes you gotta make statements. And the third thing I guess you could do is you could really take action. You can really be interested in somebody, you can like somebody, And if you don't know if that's reciprocated, you gonna play yourself crazy. I done seen people play themselves. Hey, players fuck up too. I done made them mistakes myself sometimes. You know what I mean? So you just gotta really, really be careful by kind of asking what's going on. Like, yo, is asking, hey, you seeing anybody? First, let's start with that. You see anybody or anybody seeing you? I've seen that now. The other question, but that's just a starter question. Don't take if somebody say they single, just because they single don't mean they not talking to nobody or they not interested in nobody. The other part of that is somebody could be single but not be looking. So you could be doing all of this and it's going in one ear out the other, you know. And as I said, being the hunted and being the hunter, I know that a person can say whatever needs to be said for them to just stay afloat. Because people do not like lonely beds. They will sacrifice talking to you and kicking game than being lonely and focusing on themselves. So keep that in mind. And y'all know the era we in. Everybody need money. Everybody trying to improve their situation. So it's like, hey man, if you a person that's like, oh well, he or she will treat me nice. All right, cool. Oh, you said you wanted to go where? You want to go out tonight? All right, cool. And won't hesitate to oblige, eat your eat on your tab. Uh, have you send them bread for this, that, and the third. All of these things are now on the table. So you gotta just be conscious of that. So as I said, ask the questions. Hey, you know, figure out, make sure they single, or and does it make sure the other parties know that they're single too. And then it's like, hey, what you, you know, I ain't gonna hold you. You know, your boy was retired for a minute, but it's just like, yo, like I'm I'm interested in you in a deeper level. It's like, is the feeling mutual? What do you think about me? You could say it cooler than that. I'm just freestyling at the moment because y'all my peoples. But it's like, yeah, you got to be able to kind of get gauge the interest level, and then also what it might take. And I'm saying asking them questions because I'm from an era where you would basically make those statements. So what I mean by that is like I'm telling somebody that this is my girlfriend, you know what I mean, or that, hey, so we go together. We go together. Like it wasn't really those things it was different. It was different, man. When I was, a young scrap, you kind of just be together, work, and then it's just like once it got to be so obvious, it's like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and stamp this with approval. Put the so now things have kind of, like I said, they change, but they stay the same, man. You still kind of got to get some clarity. And what I will say about the situations too in dates, or if you're dating, one thing I want to tell all y'all is enjoy the moment. You said I look so cool. Appreciate it. Well, look, this is just the beginning. Make sure you tap in. You make sure you subscribe, and because we here. You know what I mean? Oh, my song playing. But yeah, regardless, I saw a post. I want to share this, man. This kind of speaks to what I'm talking about, and then I'll bring it all together. All right. So the post said, the question was, what's the major cheat code in life? Right. So the person replied and he said, be the one who reaches out, text first, call first, plan first, initialize first. Most people wait to be chosen. Be the chooser. Connection requires initiative, And friendship requires effort. Love requires action. Stop waiting to be picked. Start picking. Initiative is attractive. And I like that a lot because people get so scared of rejection or disapproval that they won't make the leap. They won't make the step that you need to make. And it's like, yo, you know you want something. You got to go out there and go get it. Otherwise, somebody else will. And you're going to be sitting up there with the goofy face. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for nobody. So go get what you want out of life. Ask the questions that you need to ask. Hey, man, closed mouths don't get fed. If you ask the questions, you'll know the answers. And even if somebody lying, you still could tell and get the answer that you may need. Silence isn't really an answer as much as people think it is. It's a lot of ambiguity. I ain't trying to be going crazy, sounding like my boy Cam Newton, but which leads to the next post that I wanted to talk about. So, for those that have been watching and peeping, I'm a fan of Cam Newton's different platforms, 4th and 1. I'm also a fan of I'm also a fan of Funky Fridays. So recently, I'm laughing. I'll explain why I'm laughing. But recently, Cam Newton had on the talented and lovely rapper Lady London on his show. Now, the clip that went viral was Cam Newton kind of having a back and forth with Lady London, describing himself and kind of using a multitude of words. And I don't know, for the sake of the clip, it looked like he was trying to style to show up in front of Lady London bad. So, Lady London, in addition to being bad, she's also nice with the words. Excuse me. Very, very nice with the words. Very intelligent woman. So, you can't really play that game with her. And I'm a big fan of knowing your audience. So, basically, he gave that energy. She took that and spun it back at him and put Cam Newton on the spot, resulting in him creating basically a new word. She asked him to describe himself, and he created the word eclectic. And she said, "You mean eclectic?" Heavy on the N was his response. So he said, "Do you know what the N stands for?" And she said, "Negatory." I said, "Hey, yo." But first of all, when he spelled eclectic, he spelled it, the word ending in an A. There's no A in sight. In eclectic, none of the eclectics. Y'all friend back there making all this noise. But Beans, my boy, you over there scratching and sampling. But Beans, thank you, brother. Now, I think the other thing that was hilarious is that this sparked mad debate. And I always get a little confused at how easily influenced people are by these clips. One, Cam and his team post the clips. So he's kind of already aware of what is going to be the reaction and response to them. Though he may not have necessarily seen it in the clip, Cam is smart. Now, first of all, there's different types of smart, but he knew that clip was going to do numbers, just like he knew the clip before with him and Natalie Nunn, where from Bad Girls Club, couldn't really respond to his questions, he knew that clip was going to do numbers. He was like, hey, run that play again. And so I think it's like people just create these supercharged emotions, and that's what social media is basically about. It's basically about trying to create emotion with people, either having them cracking up laughing, or in uproar, or in support of, whatever the clip is about. But one thing, if we're just talking about the character or the role that he played in that clip, I think it's very, very interesting and how people perceived it, because it's just like, so I saw people taking it like, oh, see, this is why I don't have real conversations with men. You're doing the most. You're doing the most. And then, we can laugh at it, but then like it can be a little bit crazy to see like guys not being able to have a positive dialogue back and forth between, an intelligent young woman, and just have dope energy. It was, if you ever seen a movie, which one is that with my boy Omar and Holly? Is that The Program? Yeah, that's The Program. So in The Program, Omar Epps is a football player. Coincidentally, excuse me, he's a football player, and his tutor is Holly Berry. And he's, if I remember correctly, he get with her, but he was trying to show off in front of her, and he would try to show off by using all these big words, but he was using them incorrectly. So it's like, bro, you sound dumb. You don't sound as fly as you think you do. And like I said, if he was trying to recreate that, that's the thing about social media, man. Y'all don't be fooled by everything. A lot of stuff be having ulterior motives. And the other part of it be like, hey, man, this is for engagement. We know this going to go crazy. So it's like you see that clip and we laugh. You got to laugh at it because it's very eclectic. But to a degree, it's like, yo, just understand, like, some of the stuff be just for entertainment purposes. Other parts of it be like, this doesn't represent the average educated black man. Because I honestly would love to have a conversation with Lady London and just kind of get different perspective. And the other thing, real quick, I just want to highlight her. She was saying a lot of different things, interesting things in the clips. She was talking about how people that she's dated before, they either appreciated her or understood her, but never both. And that's a lot to process. You know what I mean? Both processing that has been lacked, and it's something that we should be really, really thinking about when we dating people for seriously dating people. And then also, like, I look at it from the space of, man, what does that do? What does saying that do to the psyche of the person? You know what I mean? Do you feel like the people were not capable? Was it a space that you were overqualified? It just creates questions for me that I'm interested in. You know what I mean? So it's very evident. First of all, I'm a fan of female rappers. I'm a fan of Lady London's music. And I always like to, like I said, when I see the baddies and the things that they go through in the various walks of life, especially the high end, or when I say high end, like the successful women, you know what I mean? Because when you're talking about dealing with successful women, you're talking about them commanding and demanding more from the man that they're dealing with. Money ain't gonna be enough. Looks ain't gonna be enough. Especially for those that are kind of a little bit, they got their shit together. And from the outside looking in, she seems like a woman that got her shit together. But that's just the outside looking in. So If that's the type that you're attracted to, get your shit together. Get your shit together. Don't be making up no words. You know? But very, very humorous conversation. And I see the other Instagram comedian, Lou Young, is already on it and already put together a skit. So I'm about to watch his as well. See what he said about it. But looking to move on. Now, I wanted to get into the questions, but I think I'm going to save the questions for later. I'm going to save the questions for later. Matter of fact, let's get into one question. Let's just do one question, all right? And then we'll piece it out. We'll finish the show with the Ceddy's recipe. So the question of the night is about dressing, about fashion. Okay. I recently saw some content about a man that was an older man, and he was dressed like a younger man. He is dressed straight out of a Yeet video. And so the woman was highlighting it and asking the question of like, is dressing young a turn off for you? Asking the crowd that. And this has been the subject of conversation, more so dressing young, dressing inappropriately, all of these kind of things. And so I just wanted to quickly just kind of talk about it. So when people are saying dressing young, right, it gets tough because, as I was telling you before, the yunk, as I like to call them, or the young unk, and the aunties are in an era where more than ever they are still visually, aesthetically pleasing, right? Face wise, and some even with the physically with their bodies. So a lot of them, it is a hard transition to move into an older space. As I said before, your mind still think you can run with the youngins, and your body and their bodies say otherwise. So a lot gets done, a lot gets nipped, tucked, a lot of different fashions go into things so that the relevancy can be maintained. And also, people just want to feel, when you're getting older, when you start getting in your 30s, I ain't in my 40s yet, but in your 50s and all of that, you start to become less and less relevant to the immediate conversations of being attractive, being cool, being relevant. And you try to find your own way to stay in them conversations. So it gets a little bit interesting and border on nasty work because you want to stay cool, especially if you don't have the mindset to align yourself with people that are still young at heart but are closer to your age, which is really what you need to do. You do not want to become the old jigger at the club. You don't want to be the old chick at the club. Neither is appealing as it may seem. Okay? So, in an effort to avoid that, you really have to learn how to balance youth. You need to learn how to express youth or present youth, but from a mature lens. I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. Let's say we're in the era now where our unks and OGs are the first that are from the hip hop era. All right. Our unks and OGs now grew up with hip hop versus like my father who grew up with R&B and jazz and blues. So the style looks a little bit different. Somebody that was 50 back in the day was wearing the cookout sandals. That was fly back then. You know what I mean? Linen suits. That's how old heads used to dress back then. An old head now dresses like 1994 LL Cool J. You know what I mean? Like, you think you was in the Phenomenon video. Because that's who they grew up with. I put it like this. Old people that are not all the way tapped in with fashion either dress like they're young, or they dress like when they were young. So either their clothes gonna be, if they dress like they're young, they're gonna be trying to out here looking like Playboy Cardi, looking like Travis Scott out here. It looks crazy. Multiple chains, and you know what I mean? Like it'd be crazy. Or they dress like when they were young. So like I said, out here dressed like Rakim. Shout out to Rakim, the God MC. So without a sense of fashion, without a connection to how to blend being a mature man or woman and still be fashionable. Cause ladies be on that too. You ever see, did you see that? You remember that? Wow. Do you remember the trend when you were seeing ladies bring back the salt and peppers here with the shaved one side, the swoop shaved side? It was like, yo, in 88, that with an 8-ball jacket, you was killing it. In 2025, no. And look, I was young when people do it, so it's like you kind of gotta let people live their life. I'm not judgmental. I know like I said, somebody get to going through my, I know they going, because anybody can get it. So anybody can get that, depending on who it is. I saw this guy. I guess he's a style influencer. He ain't influenced my style, but people was sending him their picture for him to discuss or get him a yay or nay. And I was dying because he killed everybody that sent him a photo. He's literally the worst person I would ever like, damn, these your fans and you out here chopping them like this. But anyway, it's just like, yo, anybody got fashion faux pause. But my thing is, you want to try to get someplace to a fashionable place where it's like, yo, man, you still look cool, but you look right for your age. You know what I mean? I understand that 50-year-olds want to still, like I said, I can only imagine. I pray the Lord that I get to 50. But yo, I'm trying to be out here like Method Man, Morris Chestnut. You know what I mean? Lorenz Tate. Where it's like a level of like class, professionalism with a little bit of that street stuff, but it's street style, street sense. But I ain't in the streets no more. I have a pension. I have a mortgage. I can't dress like that no more. Some of them cats be having grandkids. How you and your grandkids shopping at the same store? If I'm being honest with you, it's hard. It's very, very hard. Because, like I said, people either go one extreme to the other. On the men's side, men either dress like Playboy Cardi or they dress like a scammy megachurch pastor. They always be wearing the hoodie with the blazer and super tight joggings. Don't be wearing no jeggings. They be wearing the super tight joggers. And now we in this era now where they be wearing the wide leg pants. So now everybody trying to dress like my boy Tariq from Ghost. And it's like, yo, that man is in his 20s. I'm a freak the wide leg, but it gotta be at my pace. So it's like, yo, it's tough. It's real tough out here. But I do think that dressing too young, to answer the question, dressing too young can be a turnoff for the ladies and for the men. When I see a woman that is dressed overly provocative or dressed like, yo, like she a junior at at FAMU, like you've had your time. Now you got to evolve and make this new time something special. You got to be a new version. You know what I mean? Everybody doing the sheer with the bra and panty showing. Ma'am, you are a business owner. And again, somebody put it really, really well. They said you can wear whatever you want, but when influence comes responsibility. So we just have to understand that. It's like you can do whatever you want. It's going to be a response. It's going to be a reaction. How you perceived is, you know what I mean? Like how you are perceived as a person is going to dictate the kind of the varying nature of what you can wear. You know what I mean? If I came out here with the super tight joggers with my print showing and some rock chains and you know what I mean, like y'all be like, yo, what's going on with P? What's going on with Ceddy? You be like, yo, is the player okay? So just keep these things in mind, man, when you be trying to move. And as you continue to get older, you gotta balance it. You gotta balance it. And make it look fly. You wanna look youthful, but you don't want to look young. You're not gonna see me out here with the Jesus sandals. No. But like I said, I'm not about to dip into my son. Yo, let me get that Nike Tech real quick. Can't do it. Won't do it. But y'all let me know. All right, y'all. Let's close out the show the way we know how, with our favorite Ceddy's recipes. Ceddy's recipes are one of our favorite segments where we highlight the traditions, norms, and customs of the black culture that we want to continue and share with the youngins so that they can take them into the future. In the past, we have talked about customs like not splitting the pole. Shout out to people that continue to promote not splitting the pole. Okay? Spades, Uno, watch night service, God is good, late night drives with your shorty, playlists, making playlists for your baddie or for a player. Baddies, make playlists for your player. It goes a long way. But tonight's recipe is a quite simple one and quite humorous, but it's called, we're going to call it Go Ceddy. And what this is in reference to is the famous moments at parties, at functions, where somebody just goes crazy and starts dancing. And we as a community, as a function, start to cheer you on. Usually this was reserved, it started for kids. You have little Tata out there, little Jaquel, perhaps a young a Nay, Shay Shay, a TT. And when they was get to the dancing, everybody starts, go TT, go TT, go TT. A staple. And then if you would go to events and somebody be dancing, you go to a comedy show, you see that Def Jam, Martin come out there, go Martin, go Martin. To evolving to the one staple of this example that we still have, the infamous Mary J. Blige dance, when Mary comes out at her shows, go Mary, go Mary. Do, 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 do. Go Mary, go Mary. But you cheered on your black sibling. You cheered on your black cousin, your black friends. When they would get their boogie on. It got the crowd going. Gets the people going. It was an honor to be hit that circle and have your family or your friends cheering for you while you was dancing. And you gave your best performance. Go Ceddy, go Ceddy, go Ceddy, go Ceddy. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm like Bayo, bringing me back to my day. But the go such and such, a staple. A staple. At every cookout. At every party. Sometimes weddings. A classic. Ceddy's recipe. Now, we're going to end tonight. We're going to bid adieu. But I thank y'all, everybody that pulled up, stopped in, showed love, liked, even subscribed to the show. We on a roll. We going to keep this thing going. And I want y'all to be a part of it. So, y'all show love. If you missed it, it will be posted so y'all can see the rebroadcast. But y'all have a hell of a week. And until then, you know what to do. Keep it blessed, keep it real, but always keep it playing. We out.